Hello. I already have some people ready and waiting. Good to see you guys on here. I am excited to get started. So today is a special, interesting day because not only do we have all of our awesome information to share with you guys about our Bookkeeper Academy, but today is the last day that you can also register for information and join our Restaurant Mastermind program, which helps our students either take their existing bookkeeping business and scale it by providing services to restaurant clients, which you can actually make even more money. I'll tell you guys a little bit more about that as we get going with restaurants because you can provide some extra services to them specifically. But our doors close to the Restaurant Mastermind today. So this call is definitely going to show you guys everything you need to know about a bookkeeping business and getting started. But if anybody is joining and has questions about the Restaurant Mastermind, I will take those questions as well and be happy to get you guys all the information that you need. So we have lots of awesome people on here already today. And I need to open up the chat. You guys probably can't send me any messages yet. So now the chat should be working. So if you guys want to pop in the chat and maybe give me a thumbs up or a yes if you can hear me okay. And it's all that way I know it's all working and all that jazz. Good morning, Carrie. Good morning. Thank you so much. So while everybody is getting situated and joining our webinar this morning, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that you guys can get started and we can get you all the information that we need. Let's see. Good morning. Can we hold all the questions to the end? Well, is that what you guys prefer? I mean, I do have some people that might be popping on to ask questions about the Restaurant Mastermind. So if I do get those, I'll probably pause and stop. But if you guys prefer, I'm always open to just letting you get your questions answered throughout my actual slideshow. So that would work too. And if we do have someone in the chat, maybe Sean is on here, maybe he can answer your questions in the chat while I go through the presentation. So that way you guys can get all the information. That's a great idea, Chakanda. So, all right, well, let's dive in and get started. Can you guys say yes or put a thumbs up in the chat if you can see my screen okay? It should say the Stay-at-Home Bookkeeper Academy, have your cake and eat it too, your exciting journey into business ownership. Awesome. Okay, great. Thank you guys. I love when you guys are participating in the chat. It's so great. I was here before and you were answering more questions and giving needed info. Well, Chakanda, if you have information that you're looking for, you can ask questions too, and I'm happy to answer those. But I do get through the entire presentation every single time. So, and you guys can always watch the replay and fast forward through those parts or watch it on 2x speed as well. But yes, we'll get through all of it. And just out of curiosity, Chakanda, if you want to let us know exactly what you're looking to get out of this and what information that you want, that would be great. So I can make sure I give that info to you. All right. So thank you guys so much for joining. I'm going to dive in here and get right to it so I can show you how you can take an exciting journey into business ownership and get to work from home or from the road and achieve your personal goals when it comes to financial, location, and time preferences. So by starting a bookkeeping business, you guys are going to learn how you can make $5,000 a month working only 10 hours per week and be able to get up to speed with that within just a few short months, even if you already work full-time, have kids at home, and have never even done bookkeeping before. So this is what we specialize in at my company. And of course, you don't have to keep it at $5,000 per month. If you want to grow more than that, you can. As you can see, working only 10 hours a week will give you a lot of bandwidth to be able to take on more clients and grow even further. So I'm going to show you guys basically how you can accomplish this by starting your own bookkeeping business, and specifically by joining our Bookkeeper Academy so we can help you do this. So put a thumbs up in the chat if this is something that you are looking to accomplish for yourself or your family. Thumbs up or a yes, or absolutely drop that in the chat if this is why you are here. All right. Hey, Jackie, good to see you on here. All right, great, great. So if that's the case, you guys are all in the right place. And for those of you that don't know me, my name is Tiffany Higgins. I'm a CPA. I'm a mom of 5. I founded the Stay-at-Home Bookkeeper Academy after experiencing all the wonderful things that happened to my family once I started my bookkeeping business back in 2015. I was actually able to work part-time from home, growing my business, even with a 6-month-old on my hip at all times, and also 2 elementary school age children. And I did this really remarkably quickly and easily, to my surprise. I didn't think it was going to happen so fast. So much so that my husband was also able to quit his job within about 7 months of creating my LLC and starting my business. I had actually brought in enough clients and enough money to cover all of our bills by that time. So he actually got to retire on Christmas Eve of 2015, which was a really awesome Christmas present to all of us. And we're coming up on 8 years of him getting to leave corporate America, which is really, really great. So I grew my bookkeeping business steadily over a few years until I was making about $200,000 per year working part-time. I was working less than a 40-hour work week, close to it, but not even quite enough for a full-time job. Because of this flexible schedule and low time commitment, I was able to spread my time of working between my husband and myself, and bounce back and forth between taking care of the kids as well. And of course, I was also able to continue have a thriving business as we grew our family. And I had twins, and decided to then also homeschool my 3 older children, move to a different city during this time, and all the while was still able to keep all of my clients and continue to grow my business while being able to balance all my family duties and being there for my kids every second that they needed me. So I'm going to teach you guys how I did that, and then also how you can do that too, even though you don't have your CPA license or the background that I had to get started with this. So I'm going to show you guys how you guys can all do that on this webinar. So don't forget, I love questions. So if you've got questions, drop them in the chat. So type a yes in the chat if you would love to work from home with reduced hours, but have more money coming in and still be available to your family anytime they need you. So I'd love to know who is excited for that journey, because that is what made me do this. And that is what keeps me moving and helping other people do this as well. So it is our mission at the Bookkeeper Academy to empower people to become financially independent without sacrificing connectivity with their families, by offering the education and framework to launch their own bookkeeping business from home. So this is what we stand for. This is why my company exists, why I created it. But our motto is have your cake and eat it too. For simplistic purposes, we believe that you shouldn't have to choose between maybe being a parent, the parent that you want to be to your kids and for your kids, but also being able to provide for them financially and reaching your financial goals. So we don't choose. And on this call, I'm going to show you how you can have your cake and eat it too, and not have to choose between those things either. We want you to reach your financial goals, financial freedom for your family, while being able to spend time with them on your own terms. So I'm curious, there's a lot of faces on the webinar today. I'm curious who all we have attending. If you have been on a live webinar with me in the recent past, type a 1 in the chat. And if this is your first time here, type a 2 or put no. So if you have not been here, so it looks like lots of new people. I know I did recognize a few. There's a couple of awesome familiar names. Welcome back. Awesome. Okay, a lot of people are commenting to hosts and panelists only. So if you guys don't see that in the chat, there is a lot of people commenting. Twos, lots of twos. All right. So welcome back, everyone that is returning and getting more comfortable with the idea of becoming a business owner. And for everyone that is new here, welcome to our webinar. We're going to go over lots of information here. And I'm going to stay on until the end, till all the questions are answered. And then obviously this is going to be recorded too. So if you have to leave early, Sean will text you and get you a link to this recording. So that way you can watch the rest of it and you'll be able to text us and ask us any questions that you have. But again, I'll be on here until all the questions are answered. So also if you're popping on to ask any questions about the Restaurant Bookkeeping Mastermind, don't hesitate to drop those in the chat or the Q&A box. I'm also doing these webinars every Thursday and Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time. So feel free to hop back on as many times as you need to feel ready to take the plunge and get all of your questions answered. You're welcome to invite your friends, family members, or anyone else that you think will help you make this decision. Or if you know somebody else that would really benefit from being able to start their own bookkeeping business from home, you're welcome to invite them as well. So again, if anyone has questions, we love questions at the Bookkeeper Academy. This is like how we really help everyone. So don't be shy. Ask me anything that you're curious about. And when it comes to starting this business, how it will work for your family, all of those things. Transparency is one of our core values here at the Stay at Home Bookkeeper Academy. So I would love to help clear up any question you have so you know exactly what this path to financial freedom could look like for your family. So you can use the chat or the Q&A box as well. Morgan says, if I haven't made it through the bookkeeping course, do you recommend I wait for the academy or the masterclass? And I would suggest no, because our team can help you decide what is going to be the most important coursework to work through. You might not want to get through the entire bookkeeping course before you start your business and start marketing. So plus, as things come up, as you're going through the course, it could be questions that you have that are keeping you stuck, or you're not just sure how to complete the homework or move forward in the bookkeeping course. And if you're already in the academy, we can give you the best next steps or help clarify or explain. Our ebook is $5.90. So if you want to go through the ebook and grab a copy of that, you're also welcome to do that as well. And I can drop the link in here to that. I think I have that handy. Let's see. Yeah. So there is not a hard copy, but if you want to click that link, you're able to grab the ebook for $5.90 right now. And it is an ebook, so it'll be a PDF download, but great question. I am actually working on another book, but that won't be ready for a while. All right, so back to the presentation here. So for the agenda for today, obviously, if you guys have questions about the Restaurant Mastermind, please let me know throughout this, because I'm not going to actually talk about that unless anyone has questions. Doors closed to that one tonight. But for our meeting, for our normal learning how to start your bookkeeping business, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the investment. So if you're new here, you'll understand exactly what that looks like right from the beginning. So then you'll be able to understand how you're going to be able to repay that investment back and get your big return on it as well as we go through the rest of the presentation. I'll also talk about how you can get 100% approval through our lender that we use for the Bookkeeper Academy program. So everybody is approved, by the way, no matter what your circumstances are. And it's a pretty small monthly payment commitment to get started, which is really awesome. So I'll explain all about that here first. Then the second thing we'll do is talk about your goals. You won't really be able to map out how this looks like for your family or how you're going to be able to reach your goals if you first don't know what they are, right? So we're going to map those out. Then third, we're going to talk about how you can reach these goals with your business. I'll be able to show you why a bookkeeping business is ideal for your family, but the exact roadmap of how you can utilize it to reach the goals. So you have full clarity on what does this look like, but also what is the timeline for reaching them as well. And lastly, I will walk you through how our team helps you build your business and sets that foundation for years to come so you have success going into the future, whether you're an experienced bookkeeper or if you've never even heard of QuickBooks before. So First, we're going to get started with the investment, give you guys some details about that and how you can get started with our new guaranteed funding program. And then if you're new here, you'll be able to see how you can turn this investment into lifelong money for your family. So for the investment for the Bookkeeper Academy program, it is a 12-month program and it's $12,000 to take part of that program for the whole year. And again, we help you learn the skill of becoming a bookkeeping business owner, and we help you make $100,000 in your first 12 months, if that's your goal. You can go from literally making $0 to being a brand new business owner, and even brand new to bookkeeping, to making over $100,000 in your first year working part-time. So when you invest in the Academy, you can pay in full, or we have a payment plan as well, which I'll tell you guys all about here in a second. But we are set up in the Academy to help you get a 10x return on your investment within the first year, if that is your goal. Some people don't care to make that much money. They just want to have more time back, and that is fine. But if it's your goal to make that money, we are set up to help you do that with your bookkeeping business. And if you make $100,000 or $120,000 in your business in the first year, that is basically a 10x return on your investment, 10 times. So I like to point that out, because if you're investing your money in other things like real estate, 401k, stock market, stuff, savings accounts, CDs, stuff like that, you're never going to get that big of a return on investment, and especially within a 1-year turnaround time. So what I always tell people is investing in yourself, investing in starting your business. That's always going to be the number one thing that you can do to get the biggest return on investment. Then you take the profit from your business and invest in some more passive things like stock market, 401k, savings account, and then you'll get a much smaller return on investment again, but those things are passive. So building your business and increasing your education and skill set is always the best investment that you can make in yourself. So hello, Hoda, welcome. And Morgan, this program is talking about our Academy specifically. So if you have access to our bookkeeping course or any of our coursework, those are DIY programs, do it yourself. There's no support involved with that. So I will be showing you how our team can support you if you do decide to, upgrade or enroll in the Academy, how you can get support to reach that. So sometimes people prefer to do it themselves, or they think they want to start out that way. But most of the time, to actually have real results in something, you need help, you need support, you need people telling you, hey, that's not the best thing really to work on. You should be working on this. I've had mentors throughout most of my journey. I unfortunately didn't really have any when I started my business, and it was hard, and I learned everything by trial and error and making mistakes and trying to figure it out myself, and that wasted a lot of my time. So ever since then, I decided to be a mentor. I always have a mentor as well, somebody to guide me and let me know, hey, you're wasting your time on this. You should do it this way or do it that way. And that's kind of what we provide in the Academy, because when you can do that, you can get a lot more success a lot quicker, and time is money, right? So if you are not wasting your time on things that don't work, but you're spending your time on the things that work really, really well, you're obviously going to make more money, which is an impact and trickles down to everything else that happens in your family. If you have time or location goals or anything else, it all starts with having enough money to be able to reach those other goals, right? So great question. But the other cool thing about our program is that our students can start making money right away. So you don't have to go through the Bookkeeper Academy for the full 12 months in order to start making money. And because of that fact, our students are able to get clients so quickly and start bringing in income into their bookkeeping business right away. We have a lender that is willing to approve anyone and everyone that wants to join our program, which is really cool. So even if you have bad credit, or maybe you don't have a job right now, or maybe you have a tight budget and you can only commit to the monthly payments for a few months at your current income level, and you need to bring in some clients to be able to breathe, that's all okay. You are still approved for financing for those of you that don't have maybe $12,000 in your savings account or on available credit cards. You can still get this financing and be able to get in without the pressure or the stress of a high monthly payment, which is really awesome. So the monthly payment for our Bookkeeper Academy program, should you decide to come in through financing, is $640. And you only need a $640 down payment to get started. And the cool thing about that is it's really the equivalent of only like 1 to 2 small clients. So if you can make money right away and you only need 1 to 2 small clients to cover this initial investment, you can see how easily it will be to add to this investment into your budget, then be able to double and triple the income you have for your family as you continue to grow your business. And I'll show you guys more about that here on an upcoming slide, so you know exactly how you are able to get clients to cover this investment and then be able to bring in more. If you're not working because of layoff, that's okay. You're still approved. The only caveat is you have to be able to afford or figure out how you can make the $640 monthly payment, whether you have that in savings or you DoorDash or you borrow from a family or friend, or you go out and hustle and get a couple clients right away. What if you are not financing but want to make payments? So you might have to elaborate that a little bit more. If you want to not go through the financing option, you can make payments directly to us, but we do require a $3,000 down payment to get started. And then the rest of it is broken up into monthly payments. So if that's something you want to do, you're welcome to do that as well. This is also based off of a 24-month payment plan, which would put you at paying a total of $15,360 over the 24 months. But most of our students are actually able to pay it off early, because when you get a new client, you actually are able to charge them upfront for back work, which a lot of times you'll get like big upfront fees. And I'm going to also show you guys what that's all about here soon as well. But if you pay it off within 12 months, it's also interest free. So you use cleanup work income from your clients to pay off the loan, and then you save on that interest as well, which is really great. And of course, at the end of the presentation or throughout, I'll give you guys some information on how to apply for funding. What if you want to join but can't afford the $640 in one shot? Well, you would need to figure out how you can come up with $640. So starting a business, you are going to need a little bit of reserves, right? There's not very many things that cost money in a bookkeeping business, but if you're struggling right now enough that you can't make a $640 payment somehow, even on a credit card or something, then it's going to probably be a little tough for you to get your business off the ground. If you have nothing else to leverage, right? Businesses do sometimes cost a little bit of money to start up. Now, if you guys Google it, Forbes.com did an article about what are the top most profitable businesses that you can start, and bookkeeping is in the top 3 of the most profitable, which means there's not very many expenses that go along with starting a bookkeeping business or even maintaining it or growing it. However, there are a few things that you're going to need to also pay for when you get started outside of the academy investment, like an email address and a domain and getting your LLC. So if you're really, really, really struggling right now, you'd probably need to figure out a way where you can have at least 2 or 3 payments in reserve, so that way you can get into the program, or have somebody that would be willing to help you out to get by for the first few months. Now, what's great about this is you're going to be able to get clients really quickly. So like, for example, let's see, I'll show you Crystal's here. Where is it? Okay, here. So Crystal, she was on one of these webinars. She applied for funding, took her about 5 minutes. Within a couple of hours, she was approved. everybody's approved, but she got an approval notice. She was able to book her call with the lender on Monday morning. She was on a Saturday webinar. She booked her call with the lender on a Monday morning, made her down payment, got into the academy Monday afternoon, and this was Tuesday. She said, I just started the academy yesterday, got invited to the local young professionals mingle, and just got my first prospect. She wants to get started with cleanup and go from there. So she got her first client within like a day of joining the academy. So as you can see, you can make your money really quickly. However, if you are, just in that situation in life where you are really, really tight and struggling with money, you might want to leverage someone else to help you get by. I just want to be realistic that you're going to need a little bit of availability of funds, right? So if you're not financing and you put down the $3,000, your monthly payments will still be $640 a month. So if you put down the $3,000 down payment, we have a couple of options. You can take the $9,000 and divide it over the remaining 11 months that you can pay, or you can wait until your fourth month, give you 90 days in the academy, and then the payments would kick in at $1,000 a month for the remaining 9 months. So we have flexibility with that, Tangela. So just let us know. Yeah, there we go. Sean answered your question there. Did Crystal already know how to do bookkeeping? Nope. Great question, Marcus. She did not know how to do bookkeeping. She is new. So she gets this client. She learns how to quote them from us. We help her with the quote. She presents it to her. We show her how to charge the client, onboard the client. And then once she gets access to everything she needs to do the bookkeeping, then we help her understand how to do it. We break it down into steps and show her how to do the work. So our goal is to help you guys learn how to do bookkeeping with paying clients, but we're going to help you learn how to do such a great job for these clients that this client is going to then refer other people to her. So we're going to work with Crystal and with you hand in hand on doing the bookkeeping. We even have a financial statement review process that we do. Once you think you've gone through all the steps with us and finish the bookkeeping, we review it. One last double check to make sure you did everything right before you present it to the client, which is really awesome. I have the academy. What the upgrade price difference? So Morgan, a lot of people get confused. They think they're in our academy when they only have access to our bookkeeping course. So our academy is where we have support features in that program. So if you already have access to our course, maybe you paid $300 or $1,000 for our course, our Bookkeeper Academy is different. So if you want to opt into that program, I'll have Sean text you and you guys can have a conversation about upgrading into that. So great question. All right, let's go back to slide 20. Nope, not 20. This one. Nope, I already did that one. Okay, so I'm curious, now that we kind of have the investment details out of the way, I want to show you guys how you can get your return on investment, why it makes sense to invest in this kind of money into your bookkeeping business. And so you guys can see exactly how much you can make. But before we dive in, I am curious, do you believe it is possible for you to make $100,000 in 12 months? What is your belief on that? If you had the right tools, the right opportunity, and the right mentor, could you accomplish this? Do you feel like you could make $100,000 in 12 months? So if you do, if the answer is yes, I do believe in myself that I could accomplish that with the right guidance, type a 1 in the chat. And if you feel like, no, I can't possibly imagine how I could ever make that kind of money for my family, type a 2 in the chat. Yes, Morgan, seems too good to be true. Correct. I will show you why it's not. And just a spoiler alert, the reason is more than likely you've always been an employee, right? Have you ever owned your business before and been able to look at it from a business owner, CEO standpoint? I'm going to show you how to pivot your thought process from as looking at things like an employee to looking at things like a business owner. That's the first step in the key to having success in a business and starting your own business, is understanding why it's different. Right. So you're totally brand new. Awesome. So I'm going to show you and I'm going to break down the numbers. I'm going to calculate the numbers out for you so you guys totally understand how this works for you and why it works and why it sounds too good to be true, but there's really a science behind it. And we're going to dive into all of that. So I'm glad most of you are putting ones. That's awesome. Morgan Haywood says, I think my introvert tendencies might get in the way. Absolutely. Most of the people that do this program are introverts. Most of them are. Now, I'll show you when I get to the marketing section how you can get clients even though you are an introvert, because 2 out of 3 of the methods that we do basically require you to sit at your computer to get clients. So you don't have to be an extrovert. With that being said, if you want to have success faster, you're going to have to make yourself do things that are uncomfortable. Putting yourself out there, talking to people, especially if you're new to bookkeeping, you're not going to be ready when you first start talking to people, and you're going to have to do it anyway, because the only way to get clients and then learn the bookkeeping and then be able to feel confident is to first do it. So the confidence doesn't come first, guys. The confidence comes after you have shown yourself that you can do hard things, that you can do this stuff. So you have to make yourself do some of these things first, and then you start to become confident. And I'll show you an example of a couple of students that had to overcome that and went through that process as we go along as well. Thank you so much for being vulnerable and letting me know what you think your roadblocks are. I would love for other people to do that as well, because it helps me to help you understand why you still can do this, even though you may have some reservations about it. So again, like we were just talking about, mindset is going to be key as you start your business. We focus on mindset a lot in our Bookkeeper Academy because you first have to believe in yourself. The biggest obstacle our students have is their own limiting beliefs and the stories that they tell themselves, like, I'm an introvert, right? Or different things that they say that might hold them back. So as we go through this webinar, I want you to practice just imagining these results for yourself and see if you can convince yourself that you can truly believe in yourself enough to actually accomplish them. Because we have the exact path to reaching all of your goals, and we will help you overcome any obstacles that come your way. But the number one thing that I see, if students don't get results in our program, it is literally down to this. That's the only reason. The only reason. There are millions of clients out there, and if you take action and you don't let yourself hold yourself back, you 100% will have success. Guaranteed. So it's all working on mindset though. And again, we do that a lot in the academy. So even if you feel like that's something that you're going to struggle with as you start your business, don't worry, we got you. All right, so let's first dive in and talk about the goals that you have, because having these goals will also help you keep your mindset on the right track and focusing on them. I usually recommend that students post them up on their computer as they're working, so they're always reminded of, why am I doing this? Why am I doing hard things? Because I want to reach these goals, right? So let's work together really quickly to determine what your goals are, so then I can show you the exact roadmap of how you can reach these exact goals you have for yourself, but also give you a timeline of how quickly you can do so. That way you have complete clarity on what to expect should you move forward with starting your bookkeeping business. So first, we're going to start with financial goals, because without money, you can't accomplish any of your other goals. So money is important. And then the second thing we're going to talk about is time goals. How much do you actually want to work? What is your preferred schedule? And are you doing this because you want more time for yourself, for your family? That's something you can accomplish too, but we have to get clarity on what does that look like. And then third, we want to touch on location goals. Where do you want to work from? Are you wanting to do this because you want to work from home? Are you wanting to be able to travel? Does your current job not allow you to take vacations or have flex days or whatever? So we're going to show you how you can reach your location goals with this business too. So put a thumbs up in the chat if you're ready to get started talking about goals. Let's do it. Let's dive in. Awesome. Great. Thank you. Lots of thumbs up. All right, so we're going to start with financial goals, obviously. So I want to put these into 3 buckets. The first one is going to be the bare minimum goal. This is a basic goal that you would want to hit to give yourself confidence that you are on the right path and basically establishing proof of concept for your family. For example, for me, back in 2015, I was making about $3,500 a month after taxes at my CPA job, but I was paying a nanny about $1,500 a month to watch my newborn while I was gone because I was obsessed with not putting her in daycare. So basically, I was only bringing home $2,000 a month to break even after paying for our nanny. So that was my first goal. Obviously, I wanted more than that, but I knew if I could just make $2,000 a month, then I would be fine for a while. So that was my goal number one, my bare minimum goal. So for you, it could be something similar, or it could be what you need to make in your business to cover your portion of the family's expenses each month, groceries, gas, making all of your monthly commitments on time, whatever that is, type that in the chat. It could be a ballpark figure that you want to make in your bookkeeping business that would allow you to start pivoting away from whatever undesirable situation you are currently in. So type your goal number one, your bare minimum goal in the chat. And this would be, something that would make you, happy. Like I was able to quit my job. I quit my job and went after this goal. So Amber's goal, first goal is 5,000, 3,500, 3,500, 3,000 extra a month. Love that. Okay, great. 5,000 for Barbara. Okay, so goal number two is comfortable and content goal. This is where you are maybe worry-free. You're not having to worry about budgeting every penny, not having to worry about checking grocery prices or worrying about taking the family out to dinner. For me, for my family at the time, it was around $5,000 to $6,000 per month. We live in Missouri. It's fairly cheap here. That's all we really needed to pay all of our bills. For the time. And it also allowed me to cover all of our basic living expenses so that my husband was able to leave his job. And that would help us reach, some of our lifestyle goals of, being able to be home and be together more. So type in the chat, what would be your next goal in your business? Let's assume you reach your first financial goal. What's the next one you're going to strive for? So type that in the chat. 8,000. All right. 5,000 to 6,000 for Stephanie. 10,000 for Barbara. 5,000 for Tanjala. 10,000 for Carrie. 10,000 for Morgan. Awesome. Love that. My bare minimum is my comfortable goal. Okay, we'll break them out because what you want to do is you want to have small achievable goals as you go up, Morgan. So if your bare minimum goal is your comfortable goal, then maybe like go back down to your bare minimum goal and like chop that one in half or something. So, okay, goal number three. This is a wow goal. So if you could start reaching some of your family's financial goals, bucket list items, what do you think you would actually need to bring in each month to really start making some of those things a reality? Like this is the point where you're now making more than you've ever made at any of your other jobs or any of your other positions, right? And you're able to start working towards some of those things that you guys are always saying that you want to do. Like for us, my husband and I, we always wanted to go on like an extended vacation where we were, gone for 2 weeks at a time instead of trying to do like 4-day trips over the weekend, and be able to take like extravagant vacations. That was something we always wanted to do. Always wanted to buy a brand new car, those kinds of things. I'd never done that before. So for me, I knew I needed to at least hit $10,000 per month for me to be able to feel that way, double our income. This allowed us to skip budgeting. We didn't have to penny pinch. We were able to take that extended vacation without worrying about money at all. We could buy a new car, pay it off super early. We even upgraded our house. So type in the chat, what is your wow goal, your financial goal? So 8,000, 10 to 12, 12, 10 minimum, 8,500 to 9,000. Goal number 3 would be 12. Morgan is at 20K. Awesome. Love that. Great goals, guys. These are great financial goals. So remember these or jot them down because in a future slide here, I'm going to show you how much you can make in a bookkeeping business and how quickly you could get to these goals so that you'll have a general idea of like, hey, if I decide to dive in and start doing this, what's my time commitment look like? in starting a business before I actually start seeing some of this money. So I'm excited to show you guys that here pretty soon. But then also I want to have some clarity on your time goals. So think about how much you currently work right now per week. I would include all the hours that you're away from home or away from family. So you want to include commute, all that kind of jazz. So for me, I was gone about 40 hours a week. I worked through my lunch. I only had a 5-minute commute. So I wasn't gone more than my normal work week. So for me, it was about 40 hours a week. On the flip side, though, my husband, Sean, was commuting to downtown Kansas City, fighting traffic. Oftentimes he had to work late. He had a 9-hour schedule because he had to be there for lunch. So he was usually gone about 60 hours per week at his current job. So that was his time commitment. Although, of course, he got paid for a 40-hour salary. With all the drive and all those extra things, he was gone 60 hours a week. So I want you guys to calculate up your current time investment into your job and type that in the chat. So if you are unemployed, or maybe if you're a stay-at-home parent, I want you to think about how many hours per week you would have to work in order to bring in, maybe the goal 2 or goal 3 that you have for yourself. How many hours either do you put into your career right now, or how many would you if you had to get a job right now? So Morgan says 40 to 45 for Stephanie, 40 for Amber, 60 hours for Barb. Ouch. 50 for Carrie, 40, 45. Okay, great. Awesome. This is awesome. Now, in a preferred scenario, let's say you have to work a little bit, right? Because you're going to start your business. You've got to work a little bit. But if you could make unlimited money, but still have a preferred schedule, how many hours per week would you work? Some people say 15 to 20, some people say 30, some people still want to work 40 hours, but they just want to make a lot of money. So what would that look like for you if you could have a preferred work week for yourself or for your husband too? Like Morgan says, her husband works 80 hours a week. Yuck. So just so you guys know, one of the things that happens in the Bookkeeper Academy is people retire their spouses. It's not just me. Lots and lots of our students, probably hundreds of our students, have allowed their significant other or spouse to be able to either quit their job and work in the bookkeeping business, quit their job and start up their own businesses, or quit their job and become stay-at-home parents. I just hired one of my students who graduated a few years ago. Her name is Christy, and she actually had an IT background. She had an IT job, and she grew her bookkeeping business, and she ended up retiring her husband. Her husband now homeschools their 4 kids, and she works so minimal in her bookkeeping business that she reached out to me and asked to come back to the academy and is working for us. She actually wants to work a full-time job to come back and help all of the students like you have the same results that she had. So really cool. You guys will get to work with her in the academy as well. But she's been able to also retire her husband and get him out of an undesirable job, in addition to retiring herself, which is cool. So you guys say 20 hours, 25 to 30 max. I like that. Preferred work week would be 20 hours. Yes, I would love to retire my husband. He's a cop. I'd be less stressed. Absolutely. So Terry in our program also has a husband that is a cop as well. And I want to say he was going on some kind of injury leave or something like that for a while, which was like reducing his pay or something. So that was one of the reasons that she joined the academy. She's doing really, really well. So it'd be really fun for you guys to meet each other and get connected in there as well. And her goal also is to provide an opportunity for her husband to not have to go back to his job as well. So, which is really cool. I love that. Okay, you guys have really great schedules that you're working out. You want to be able to farm full time, buy more land. I love that. I love that. Yes, Morgan, I would love to connect you with her. That would be fun. Okay, so flexibility here is key. Keep in mind with a bookkeeping business, even though you're working 20 or 25 or whatever your preferred hours are, you get to choose your schedule. So whatever day, time of day or day of week that you want to work, you get to pick it. And you can change it from week to week. It's not something that's rigid and that you have to do things at certain times. So It's very flexible, but these numbers are going to be important on an upcoming slide so you can see exactly how much time you're going to save by putting into a bookkeeping business instead. So also real quick, let's chat a minute about location freedom goals. So what is your current workspace? Where do you prefer to work? Do you have a desire to work from home or maybe even work from another location or multiple locations? Do you have any travel plans that you would like to accomplish sometime in the near future that you haven't been able to do because of restrictions from your job? So type in the chat, where do you want to be able to work from if you start your bookkeeping business? I love that mainly I get to work from home, but in October, we decided we wanted to fly out to California. Actually, it was the beginning of November. And so at the last minute, I took my family, and 4 out of 5 of my kids wanted to go. And we went to California for 10 days and we just worked from there, and it was nice. So it's really flexible to be able to do that. I had a student that joined the program a couple years ago, and she had most of her family lived in Europe. And she never got to see them because she didn't have enough vacation time and she couldn't afford to take off work and frankly couldn't afford to fly out there because it's expensive to get tickets, right? But once she started her bookkeeping business, not only was she able to afford to go over there, but she had the flexibility to be able to go over there for like 6 weeks and stay with her family, all while still working her bookkeeping business. That is awesome. That is really awesome. So yes, you guys all have the right idea as well, getting to work from home or anywhere, but also being able to travel. And then lastly, this is always fun too. Are there any other goals you have for your family or yourself that you'd like to achieve that we haven't talked about yet? Maybe you want to pay off debt. Maybe you want to buy a house. Maybe you want to start investing. I've had all of our students accomplish these things as well. So an example of paying off some debt, I got to read this one to you because it's really, really awesome if you guys haven't seen it already. I had a student named Jera in the past, and she paid off a lot of her debt, almost all with her bookkeeping business. So Jera says, hello, everyone. I wanted to share an amazing win of mine, and I hope it lifts and encourages you to know that you can do it too. I'm a stay-at-home mom and I homeschool my 4 kids. My husband graduated chiropractic school with around $175,000 of debt, and we were just squeezing by to pay all expenses on top of the ever-crushing school loan. I had worked full-time up until I had my kids, and though I enjoy being a mother, I always wanted to get back into the work field, even just for a day or two. I tried looking for part-time jobs, but at $9 an hour or less, and I didn't get a higher education, so making more was out of the question without going back to school. She says, I researched and followed several groups, school programs, and even tried to get into marketing, which ironically, she says, I was awful at. And someone mentioned Tiffany's group, and though I didn't have bookkeeping experience, I really enjoyed finances and problem solving, which is cool. Of course, with things being tight, I worried that we would spend the money and I wouldn't see a return. I contemplated for a couple days and my husband encouraged me to just go for it. One of the best decisions that we've made. I joined summer 2019 and opened in October of 2019. It took me 3 months to land my first client, and it has had its ups and downs, but I'm so glad I decided to take that chance. Fast forward to now, I have 25 monthly clients as well as contract work for a CPA. I have 3 part-time employees, and I put in roughly 20 to 40 hours per week. I do this all from home. I still homeschool my kids, take vacation days, and schedule things on my time. I put in a lot of evening hours so I can spend the day with my kids. Are you ready for the big news? We paid off our loans. A 30-year loan in less than 5 years, and the majority was paid in 2020 and 2021. We are now saving up a down payment to build our dream home, which I will certainly share pics once it comes together. I make more per hour than my husband, and he took 8 years of school, and I took Tiffany's program for a small fee. I'm also not capped at what I can earn. I'm not limited to how many hours I can work. I can contract out, hire more employees, and continue to grow as big as I want. The sky's the limit. I'm just so happy I stumbled upon this group. Thank you to Tiffany for making it possible for this mom to dream big. So this is a really cool example of what you can do with the bookkeeping business if all it takes is to just get started, right? So drop in the chat if you guys have any questions about that I just read to you. I know it was a long post, but I like to share that because it's really awesome. It's really cool, heartwarming to me. But to celebrate my 1-year anniversary for my bookkeeping business in June of 2016, I bought a new van that I completely paid off within about 6 months. And it was obviously a $45,000 van. And I did this with only living off of my bookkeeping business income, which was our sole source of income for our family. We still drive that car today, actually, as well. But we also got a chance to take a 16-day family vacation across the country. We stopped in Estes Park, Colorado, Mission Beach, California, and the Grand Canyon. And this was all right at our 1-year anniversary in our bookkeeping business. So, there's a lot to accomplish in that first year, and it only keeps going up from there if you choose to continue to grow. It's very typical that our students double their business every single year, which is really cool because every time you do that, you just have so many more opportunities. Of course, we also upgraded our house. We were able to get approved for a $412,000 house off of just our bookkeeping business income. And we were able to upgrade so that we had a pool. We even had a little pickleball tennis court in our backyard as well. So type in the chat, what are some of the things that you want to accomplish as you're moving forward? Like aside from, the normal things in goal 1 and 2, but when you start knocking those things off of your bucket list, what are some of those things you want to accomplish? It looks like you guys have put a lot of stuff in there already, pay children's college education and things like that. So if there's anything else, Carrie's buying a new vehicle. Awesome. I love that. Buy a home and travel. Great. So I'm excited to show you guys how you can reach all of these goals with this roadmap right here. So we're going to dive into that now. So that way you have complete clarity on what this process looks like and the timeline on how quickly you can reach these various goals that we just talked about. So obviously, too, you're going to be able to see how you can take advantage of our 100% guaranteed approval process, too, with our lender, if that's something that you guys want to do. So first thing that I want to go over here is the average time it takes our students to reach various levels of consistent, reoccurring, dependable monthly income in their bookkeeping business. Now, there are several ways you can earn income in your bookkeeping business, like cleanup jobs, commission income, higher level services, things like that. Those things are not something that are consistent or predictable and can vary from client to client and student to student. This chart here is a very conservative, realistic picture of the time frame you can expect with consistent income that you can count on every month into the future. Even if you decide you're done marketing, you don't want to add another single client to your business once you reach this level, you know that this money is going to be coming in every single month. So I'll show you also on an upcoming slide how you can make even more money with those other things. But I want to show you just straight monthly fees that you charge business owners, how much that you're able to make here. So what we typically see from our students that get into our program and immediately start taking action is that they add an additional $1,000 of monthly income to their business for every single month that they're in business. On average. So if you want to make, let's say $2,000 per month is your first goal, your bare minimum goal, then it'll take you about 2 months to get there. So this time, let's see, it'd be February 7th, I would likely be at that goal, which is really cool. And also we're coming up on tax season, which is really awesome. So a lot of times during tax season, we see our students are able to blow past this timeline and can hit their goals a lot faster, which is really great. And again, this chart shows an average, and it's based off of a student that works full-time, has little kids at home, but is taking action right away and is working about 30 to 60 minutes a day on their marketing for their business. So that's the pace that you can expect if that is your situation. So it'll be obviously a lot quicker if you happen to have more time available to focus on growing your business. But it'll also happen slower if you have less time or you need to focus on your mindset to keep you going forward, right? So if you get in and you're not scared to do anything and you move forward and you follow our steps, like that slideshow, Crystal that I showed you, she started marketing immediately. She got her first client in the second day of the academy, right? So if you do that, it's very easy to hit these goals. If you need to work on your mindset, that's okay too. It just might take you a little longer to reach your goals. And I'll show you all about that here on an upcoming slide too, with some examples of some students as well. But obviously, as you can see with this, if you could start investing, if you can invest $640 per month to get started, and by the end of your second month, you're already making $2,000 per month in reoccurring revenue, obviously it makes sense, right? You're going to be a net positive very quickly from that and be able to utilize that extra money to bring to your family, to your personal, apply to your personal life, right? So by February, if I'm making $2,000 a month and I'm paying $640 to be in the academy, obviously there's a lot left over that you can then push right over into your personal life, right? Which is really awesome. So I would love for you guys to look at this chart and tell me how many months is it going to take you to reach your first goal, your very first bare minimum goal? How many months? Type that in the chat. Morgan says, do you feel someone can have these same results with the bookkeeping course versus the academy? I don't. Like, to be completely honest, I just don't think you can. Most people can't. I'll say most people. I have had a handful of students that have had success with the bookkeeping course and are even just our ebook, but it's less likely, right? If I just went through a course, well, I'll be honest with you, from the very first part of this, I'm having trouble like figuring out how to explain this, but from the very first part of even just getting access to the course, what we see is like 10% of people that buy our course even actually go through it. So that's one of the reasons why, no, I don't feel like people are successful when they buy courses in general. And we honestly use our course as more of like a lead magnet to help people understand, hey, this is interesting. Maybe this is for me, and they go through it. But most people, A, don't even finish it. And then second, when they take action, the second things gets confusing or hard, people tend to just give up if they don't have resources, right? So if you don't know what to do to move forward and you don't have anybody to ask, it's really easy to just be like, I'm busy over here, I'm just going to focus on it, right? So, that's the thing. So it's something to think about. But with that said, I have had a handful of people that have been successful with it, but, I don't know what their backgrounds are. They may have been a CPA and things like that. I don't know. So 5 months, 10 months to a year, Connie, to reach your first goal, bare minimum goal, like what would your bare minimum goal be? There's got to be a smaller goal. You got to break it down, because you should all have great, huge goals, but sometimes those big goals are meant to be missed, right? Strive for the huge goals. And if you fall short, you're still doing great, right? But we also have to have those little goals to be able to give ourselves like the push to keep moving forward. It's very similar to like weight loss, right? I want to lose like 50 pounds. But every time I tell myself that, I'm like, oh, that sounds like overwhelming. How about I just try to lose 10 or 5 pounds at first, right? So like you got to have those little chunks, the little ladder rungs too, before you reach the very top. Because otherwise it could be hard to stay motivated if you're like, just looking at that huge goal. But yeah, 5 months, 2 to 3 months. Morgan says, I need hand holding, think I'm sold on the academy. Right, exactly. That's what we do. We love to hold your hand. We love to help you with every little aspect of it. So we want you to have success. And if that means you need extra help by the academy, then that's the best path for you. So, and I'll show you guys exactly how we help our students too here on an upcoming slide. So I'm glad you guys can see you could reach your first goal like relatively quickly. Like, I don't know about you guys, but has 2023 just flown by in the blink of an eye? This whole year is already over. And you guys could reach your first goal in like 3 to 6 to 5 months. In the grand scheme of things, that is very fast, right? To be able to hit that. So, okay, now I'm going to pivot real quick and show you guys based off of clients. Like, if you reach these different revenue goals, money coming in, what does that mean as far as clients? How many clients do you actually need to have and work with? So here's a chart that kind of shows you the average number of clients at each different revenue level. So for example, if your bare minimum goal is $2,000, then you only need about 4 clients to hit that goal. 4 business owners. That's it. At your wow goal, maybe your wow goal is 10,000 like mine, you only need 20 clients, and you're going to be at your wow goal. So I just want to reiterate how exciting that is. And of course, this is assuming that every client you get is really small. This is based on a small, super small client. It's a range though, right? So if you get a client that's bigger, we're going to show you how to charge more for that client because it's going to take more work, right? And so then you would need less clients to reach your goals. So for example, Kim got a client in last December, paying her $21.97 per month. So she hit that first level with 1 client instead of 4. Now, when I had my bookkeeping business and I was at the $20,000 per month mark, I had about 33 clients instead of 40 that's listed here. So that kind of gives you guys a feel for like what the range could be. How does that break down? Retainer. Yeah, I will show you exactly how we quote and all of that good stuff here in a second. What services do you offer a client to charge that amount? This is all based on basic bookkeeping, which is really cool. And I like to say on these webinars that your bookkeeping business is like a gateway drug. It's gateway services. So like basic bookkeeping is very valuable, and you can make this kind of money only offering basic bookkeeping. But the cool thing about that is as you guys get comfortable with that, you can then graduate into some of our higher level programs, learn how to offer CFO services, learn how to offer tax services if you want, accounts receivable, accounts payable and bill pay, payroll, sales tax, all of those things. Those are additional things that you'll be able to offer, maybe in year 2 or year 3 of your bookkeeping business. Or you can keep it simple and still make a ton of money doing it this way, because every business has to have bookkeeping in order to file their taxes or get loans, has to be done. So this is all based on those basic services. So it's not like really hard to learn all this stuff. 80% of bookkeeping is data entry. 20% is higher level skills that I'm going to show you. And when you're working your bookkeeping business, 80% of your success is going to come from your mindset. 20% is going to come from actually like doing the stuff that we do. This is why we focus on mindset also so much in the academy. But it is exciting because this is just a starting point. This is tiptoeing into making a really great business and a lot of money. Some of you may not know, but today we're closing the doors to our Restaurant Mastermind program. And this is a program that you can graduate into after you get your business going. We did actually have a student that decided to enroll in the academy and the Restaurant Mastermind simultaneously this time, which is exciting. If you have really big goals, you can definitely go for it. But in the Restaurant Mastermind, we show you how to offer those higher level services specifically to restaurants so that you can charge $1,000 per month per restaurant, which is really cool. And so you'll be able to learn how you can then scale and double your business that way. So it's really cool. And yes, we have programs for almost every one of those higher level services. And we have masterminds for how to scale your marketing once you've gotten all of this handled, really get set up to where you could like bring in a client or two, every couple days or every week, right? And then we also have an operations mastermind where we show you all the ins and outs of what it looks like to build a team. So I'll talk a little bit more about that here later. But yes, this is kind of like your entry point, your starting point of getting started. Everybody's businesses need to have the main solid foundation, which I'm going to go through that too on this slide. But to have massive success in the future, you need to build a solid foundation for your business. So that is what our academy focuses on: understanding how to do the work, how to quote, how to price efficiently, how to work efficiently, how to structure your business and set it up and all of those things. So we work really heavily on that. And then as you start to, you've gotten all that down and you want to scale, you really want to scale, then we work on how can we customize this business for you, because everybody is a different type of leader and everybody's going to want to grow their business to the next level differently. So in our mastermind programs, we work with you on let's personalize this experience and with growing your business, and let's help you set it up the way that you want. So we show you all the options, like you can go down this path or this path or this path. How does it feel best for you? And then we help you scale it basically. How can I handle to keep those clients? I may lose clients in some way. So, hey, Michelle, I think we may have talked before. So yes, I mean, obviously a client isn't going to stay with you forever or might not stay with you forever, but most clients do. I would say it's probably up in the 80 to 90% range that once you get a client, you're going to keep them for years, years and years and years. When I sold my business, some of the clients that I brought on originally, most of them were still with me going on 4 years later. So typically, if you do a good job and you communicate well with your clients, they have zero reason to leave. Now, of course, sometimes things happen with people's businesses. They shut down, whatever, for whatever reason, you may lose a client that way, or it may just become not a good fit due to personality. But most of the time, you're going to keep these clients for years and years. But that's why I also love teaching you guys marketing, because should you lose a client and you need to replace that client, then you can turn your marketing back on and easily get another client. Maybe you like even better, or maybe that even pays you more, which is really awesome. Tanjala says, should you set up an LLC and get a tax ID before we start the academy? Nope, you don't have to do that. We walk you through doing all of that in our program as well. And we also do have a preferred vendor. Let's see, here it is. We have a preferred vendor. If you guys want to go ahead and book an appointment with them, you can do that here. And they give you a free consultation on setting up your LLC, but then they do charge a small fee to actually create your LLC and set up your tax ID number for you. So you can either do it yourself or you can book a call with them and have them do it as well. So totally up to you, but they are the vendor that we do work with that helps our students get that part done. Great question. But you don't have to have anything done or set up prior to getting into the academy, because we're here to help you along the way with any roadblock that you have. So if you start doing something and then you're like, oh, I have a question about that, our team can immediately pop in and help you, which is really great. Okay, so I want you guys to look at this chart really quick and type in the chat, how many clients do you need to reach your first goal? So if for me, my first goal was $2,000 per month, I needed 4 clients. How many clients do you need to reach your first goal? Type that in the chat. Rose needs 4. I love it. 4. 6 for Morgan. Keep typing those in the chat, guys. 10. Awesome. Keep going. Keep going. Okay. Now, while you guys are typing that in the chat, I'm going to show you the potential client pool so you know what you're working with. So this is a chart from the SBA.gov website. Hey, Diana. This shows from 2022 stats, 2017 through 2022. The total number of small businesses in the US that existed in 2022 is 33.2 million businesses. And Rose needs 4 of those to hit her first goal. And Morgan needs 6. And Carrie only needs 10. And Stephanie only needs 6. And Tanjala needs 7. And Diana needs 4. And there's 33.2 million. I mean, there's so many. And as you can see from this chart over the last 6 years, it's growing every single year, right? In fact, there's over 500,000 small businesses that are starting up every single month. So there's always going to be new businesses out there that you can work with. We also have seen a lot of bookkeepers and CPAs are retiring, and there's been a decline in people interested in getting accounting degrees. So there's nobody to really replace them. So there's literally clients everywhere. There's never going to be a shortage of potential clients for you, tons of fish in the sea, and there's never going to be enough bookkeepers out there to help everyone. I'm trying to make a lot of bookkeepers out there, but there's still never going to be enough to help everybody. I don't know how many small businesses there are in Canada, but we do have a lot of Canadian students, and one of our coaches is in Canada, and she just told me, well, I'll show you this post really quick. She made about $20,000. Here's Robin's post. I don't know if you guys can see this, but she said, I have to share, Tiffany, after 3 months of working your program, my husband and I have calculated our earnings from our bookkeeping business, and we've already made $20,000. At the beginning of the year, I had no interest in becoming a bookkeeper, no interest in starting another business, and no real interest in numbers. But when I saw this program and the opportunity to grow a business with my husband for our family, I couldn't ignore the possibilities. July 1st is when we started to seriously work with clients, and we haven't looked back. By the end of the year, our goal is to make $10,000 a month, and I know it's entirely possible. It hasn't been without ups and downs or some sacrifices, but it's been worth it. Whatever your why is, if we can do it, you can too. She says, I'm forever grateful. And if you would like to know more, join my weekly calls, Overcoming What's Blocking You. So Robin accomplished all of this with no background in bookkeeping. She lives in Canada, and she also is a mindset and parent coach. And she coaches in our program on Mondays and Fridays to help you overcome anything that's blocking you from having success. And it's really cool because she is a walking example of what success looks like. So she shows you how she's able to accomplish it as well, which is really, really cool. And she also just sent me a message yesterday that she just got another $10,000 cleanup job, which I haven't even gotten to show you guys about the cleanup jobs yet. So I'm going to be doing that here shortly. So once I apply for funding, what do I do next? Once you apply for funding, then you'll wait for your pre-approval email and text from the lender. Once you get that, they're going to have you book a call with the lender. On that call, you're going to make your first payment, sign the paperwork, and then after that, they will notify us that everything is done, and you will be immediately onboarded into our academy. So Sean will be in contact with you throughout that whole process as well. So I would like to know, type a yes in the chat if you feel like, based on this client pool, how many clients are out there, if you feel like getting to your first goal will be doable. Obviously, we'll teach you how to do that, but do you feel like if you had the right tools and you know how to do marketing, that it would be doable for you to get enough clients to reach your goal? And it also helps too, guys, that bookkeeping is a required service for businesses. They have to have it done to get their taxes or to file a loan or get a loan or something like that. So it's not a luxury item. You don't have to try to twist someone's arm or convince them or do some fancy sales tactic to get them to sign on for services. All the business owners know they need it. They're already convinced of the value. So finding clients is relatively easy, but getting them to say yes is also relatively easy. And of course, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to find clients on an upcoming slide as well. But I'm glad you guys are feeling like, hey, this is possible. This is doable to find the amount of clients I need to make this work. But now, drum roll, my favorite slide of the entire presentation. This is the expected time commitment that you need to make when you complete the bookkeeping work for clients at various monthly income levels. So this is not factoring in the amount of time that you're going to spend with marketing. So if you want to grow, you're going to spend more money or more time focusing on marketing. But if you're happy with where you're at, this is the time commitment to complete the bookkeeping work. So for your first goal, maybe your first goal is like mine, $2,000 per month. You only have to work 4 hours per week to complete the bookkeeping work for all of your clients at that income level. That's all it takes to complete all of the work. So I want you guys to do the only math you're ever going to have to do in your business without using a calculator. Hey, Megan, good to see you on here. So I want you to calculate up how many hours you're going to save. So some of you said you work 40, 45, 50, 60 hours per week at your current job. If you look at this chart and look at how much do you make at your current job, maybe it's 5,000, and look at that 10 hours. You're going to subtract how much you are currently working from how much you would work if you had a bookkeeping business. And then type in the chat, how much time would you save? So for me, I was netting $2,000 a month at my CPA job after paying my nanny, right? But I was working 40 hours a week. So I knew by pivoting to a bookkeeping business, I would have 36 hours saved. So how many hours would you save? While you guys are typing that in the chat, I want to explain to you, I knew this was going to be possible when I stopped, when I decided to do this and I stopped working for the CPA firm, because I was doing the bookkeeping work at the CPA firm. I knew how long it took me to get it done for each one of my clients, and I saw what my boss was charging them. So I knew that if I just picked up a couple of clients, like I said, I only needed like 4 small clients at this level, that I would be able to get it done in that time frame. So I knew that to be true, which is why I had the courage to step out and do it, right? But since then, I've been able to show, thousands of other people how to do this too, how they can have this exact same time freedom and time savings. So you guys are all going to have like the same massive amount of time savings as I did. 38, 40 hours saved, 36, 40, 34, 32. That is incredible. So imagine that for a minute. If you had all of that time back, you can spend it with your family. You can pick up a hobby. You can enjoy life more. You can even reinvest some of that back into your business so you can hit goal 2, goal 3, and then obviously start knocking off some of those items from your bucket list, right? And if you take a look at this chart, even at my wow goal of $10,000 per month, it's still only a 20-hour work week to do the actual bookkeeping work for your clients. So, and again, even better, you can work those hours whenever and however you choose. You can work in the morning before the kids wake up. You can work late at night after they go to bed. You can work on weekends. You can work only on Mondays and Tuesdays. It's totally flexible. It's totally up to you. You can even change your schedule from week to week, which is awesome. This is another reason why, too, for those of you that want to get started with this before quitting your job, you can do this alongside your full-time job until you're ready to quit that job. So Megan said I could make 3,000 more than I do currently working part-time. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know, Megan, you are interested in the restaurant mastermind. So if anybody that is still tuning in here that has questions on that program, feel free to let me know, because I'm happy to answer those since that program's closing tonight. Tariq says, how much should a person invest in marketing in the beginning or starting off? Great question. So financially, I have a whole series of slides I'm going to show you guys on marketing. So I'll show you what the different like financial investment is. It's very low for most of the things that we recommend, because we do want you guys to get a return before you start investing more money back into your business, right? So we teach you how to get clients either free or relatively inexpensively. And really, as long as you have about 30 to 60 minutes per day through the week, or, 4 or 5 days a week, and you can be consistent with it, that's all you need to make this work. Now, obviously, the more you put into it, the faster you're going to reach your goals. But as long as you can squeeze out 30 to 60 minutes per day consistently, you'll easily be able to reach these goals. Diana, I would love to help you make $5,000 a month. You can do it. So if anybody wants to grab a screenshot of this, you're welcome to do so. And this is a recap of everything we just went over. So average time it takes students to have these results, assuming they come into the academy and take action right away. And this is the total monthly income in reoccurring revenue that they could potentially hit in that time frame. And then once they get those clients, that is the number of hours per week that it would take them to do the actual bookkeeping work, and then the number of clients they would need at these various levels. So feel free to take a screenshot. Now, I know we've already heard some people say, that this sounds too good to be true, but I would love to know if anybody else is feeling that way at this point, because I've shown you everything you can accomplish in the business, but I haven't explained why it works yet. So is anybody feeling that way, that it's like, you can type in the chat, raise your hand like Kate did, or you can type in the chat, yes, it does feel too good to be true. I would love to understand how this works. So type a yes in the chat if that's you. What program are we going to use in this program? So if you're talking about accounting software, we use QuickBooks Online, mostly, primarily is what we do. Okay, so these next few slides are all gonna be about how exactly does this high money, low time business work. I'm gonna explain it to you. I'm gonna help you guys shift your perspective from viewing things as an employee to viewing things as a business owner. Tangela says, I think it's attainable, but finding clients seems very challenging. Great, stay tuned, because I'm gonna talk all about marketing and how you're gonna find clients here very soon. So there are a few key pillars that make these results possible. The first and most important step is proper quoting process, okay? So obviously understanding how to charge, making sure you're not undercharging or undervaluing your services is an important skill to develop. There are a lot of factors that go into quoting, and in our Bookkeeper Academy, we help you get crystal clear on exactly what to charge a potential client. We even go over every single quote our students have so they can feel 100% confident in the prices they are charging, and that they're right in line with the results that I've been sharing here. So it's important to follow the proper quoting process, and it takes some time to get used to that. But that is one of the main ways that you build freedom that you need for your family and avoid creating basically a second job for yourself. Because obviously, if you underquote, but it still takes you the same amount of time to do the work, overall, your effective hourly rate is going to be less than if you quote properly, right? So it's very important to understand the value of what you're providing and be able to explain that to a client, so that way they are fully prepared and okay with accepting your quote, right? We base our quoting on the size of the client, their annual revenue. So number one, we know they can afford the monthly fees that you guys propose. And number two, we know that their fees are going to be right in line with the amount of work that's going to be involved. And then number two, we base it on the industry that they're in, because some industries will require a little bit more work than others. And we know that, so we can upcharge those higher industries, right? And then the third thing we do is base it on how many accounts do they have? Do they have a couple, a handful, or do they have like 20? That's going to take you more time. And then fourth, are they keeping things separate, or are they commingling their funds? So all of those things come together, help you create a proper quote for the clients. Now, when you're in the academy, we're going to give you a script of what to say on these when you're first talking to a potential client, so that you can ask the right questions to be able to put together a quote. We also give you access to a quoting tool so that you can input the answers that you get from your potential client into the quoting tool, and the quoting tool will give you a price. But then to take it a step further, you can also present that information to our team, and we will help you determine if it is an accurate price and if you want to stick with that price, which is really cool. So you're going to get support on every single quote that you put together. Now, for an example of how beneficial that can be, we had a student named Sylvia in our academy, and she had a handful of clients. But then she got this client in construction industry, and she hadn't worked with any clients in that industry yet. So she figured up that maybe $500 a month was going to be what she wanted to do. But the client was asking for a few extra things that she really hadn't done before. So she came to one of our Zoom calls and she asked one of our coaches, I believe it was Vanessa at the time, and she said, I'm thinking about charging him $500 a month. Here's all the things he's requesting. What do you think? And Vanessa, having had experience working with construction companies, she said, honestly, I would quote him $1,000 a month seems more in line with what it's going to take for you to actually give him the services that he's looking for. So even though that was the highest paying client she had had at that time, she went back to her client and proposed the $1,000 and he agreed. So basically that one conversation she had with our coach, Vanessa, basically gave her an extra $500 per month that she wouldn't have gotten had she, just tried it out on her own, right? So that's $6,000 per year, assuming she keeps this client for 5 years. As you guys can see, that's a ton of money. What is that? $30,000 that she is going to get in addition to what she would have thought she would have charged. So that one conversation alone paid for her investment into the academy time and time again. So, that can be so beneficial, even just having that kind of help. But proper quoting is the first thing that makes these results possible, right? Second thing is proper and efficient workflow. So we're going to work with you to help you streamline how you work with each individual client. So that way you're not doing things that are unnecessary or like busy work, and you're only going to do the things that your client is going to need and get the most value from. We also help you set boundaries, avoid what we call scope creep. And that's when your client will ask you to do things that maybe weren't in the original engagement letter. And then you have to go back to him and know how to have the conversation with him or her that says hey, I would love to help you with this, but I think I'm going to need to requote. Are you okay with that? Or would you mind paying an extra $100 a month for this? Something like that. We help you understand how to recognize that, but also have these conversations with your clients, but streamlining how you're doing the work. So what happens is, let's say you quote a client $500 per month, and then you do the work and we have you track your time. And then you're going to divide the number of hours that you put into it from the $500 or whatever the monthly fee is. And that's going to be your hourly rate. Your client doesn't know what your hourly rate is. They only know that they're paying you the $500. They have no idea what it takes to get the work done, but we do. And we show you how to make at least $100 per hour working with your clients. So it's streamlined, and your client's paying a fixed fee, but when you calculate and track all your hours and then you divide it out against the fixed fee, that's how you end up making over $100 an hour in your bookkeeping business. So does that also include updating the contract or adding an addendum for those services? Yes, we help you with all of those, contracts, engagement letters, understanding what to put on there. We support you with all of that. We give you templates, everything is included. But also, in addition to that, so that's the main reason that you guys are able to make $100 an hour doing this. Proper quoting and fixed price packages, learning how to do the workflow efficiently and avoiding scope creep. And that's effectively those two things combined is what helps you make $100 an hour. But also, we're going to help you build this business with the end in mind. And the reason we have you quote that way and do the workflow that way is because of the end in mind with your business. We're going to help you learn how to become a business owner, not just someone doing bookkeeping work, but an actual business owner. So we've thought of things that you probably haven't thought of when you start your business at the very beginning, but we know what you're going to want to know a year down the road, 2 years down the road, 5 years down the road. We already know those things. As a new business owner, you won't know them, but we're going to help you get started with your business right from day one with those things in mind. So that's why you have to quote this way. And that's why you have to do the work this way, because we want to set you up for long-term success in addition to having short-term success as well. So I'm going to explain what that means also. Yes, you can start off with a cheap laptop and upgrade later. I had a super cheap laptop when I first started. And then, you can eventually upgrade. What we see our students do is once they've got 4, 5, 6, 10 clients, they end up getting a double monitor setup where you can see QuickBooks on one side and your client's bank account on the other or whatever, which is really nice to have, but it's not required or necessary. It just helps you work faster and more efficiently as you have multiple clients to take care of. So you can always upgrade that kind of stuff later. Yep. Exactly. As long as it has internet access. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate that. Okay. So when we're building the business with the end in mind, there's two things that we're doing here for you guys. Number one is we are going to help you secure your process with proper quoting and efficient workflow. So that way in the future, when you hire employees, your business is still going to be incredibly profitable. Okay, because as you grow, eventually you may decide you want to hire help. And I will give you a hint. We have a lot of students in our academy that aren't even finished with their first year. They're already hiring people. It happens really fast because there's clients everywhere. There's so many clients out there that need help. So it can be something that can happen really fast, especially if you're one of the people that join the academy that only want to work 20 hours a week, but you want to make a lot of money, but you don't want to work more than 20 hours a week. You have to leverage other people to be able to continue to grow, right? Otherwise, you're going to be doing all the work, right? So we want you to still be really, really profitable, even when you hire someone. So if you take a look at this chart that we were just looking at, my favorite one, you can look down at the bottom and it says for a 40-hour work week, you can handle the client load that is equivalent to $20,000 per month in bookkeeping income. So let's say you have enough clients, they pay you $20,000 per month. It's going to take you about 40 hours a week to do that work. Maybe less if you get efficient. I worked a little bit less than that, but on average, 40 hours a week to do that workload. Now, let's say you hire somebody to do that instead. So you hire a 40-hour full-time bookkeeper or staff accountant to join your team. The going rate for paying them is anywhere from like $4,000 to $4,500, $4,000 to $4,500 per month. That's usually the salary. I'm going to round up, and let's say you guys are going to be awesome CEOs and you want to pay your team really well. So let's just say you pay them $5,000 per month. So if you take a look at that, $20,000 minus $5,000, you are still profiting as the business owner $15,000 per month, even after having a full-time team member on your team. So we're going to focus on getting your quoting and your efficiency down solid in the academy. So that way, when you bring somebody on, you'll be able to show them exactly how you want them to do the work so that you can pay them $5,000 per month and you get to keep the 15. And that is like your reward as a business owner for doing all the hard work of growing it and maintaining it and being able to provide employment for someone else, which is really, really awesome. Is there anybody on here that's interested in learning how to make $1 million in your business with a team of people handling the work and to see what kind of profit that looks like? Type a yes in the chat if you want me to do the math on a 7-figure business. Katie, QuickBooks is free for you. Bookkeepers do not have to pay for QuickBooks Online, which is great, but you can access every single one of your clients' QuickBooks from one login. So your clients will pay for their own QuickBooks subscription. You can earn commission on that, but then you get to use QuickBooks for free, which is great. It's so awesome being a bookkeeper, I'm telling you. Okay, so let me pull up my calculator here. So if you're looking at this chart, you've got, let's say $1 million is your annual revenue that you're going for, right? So let me calculate up what your profit's going to be. So $1 million in revenue. If you divide that out per month, that's $83,000 per month. So we're going to figure out how many full-time employees we're going to need or how many employees in general. So I'm going to divide that by the $20,000 figure because you're going to need a full-time employee for every $20,000 worth of clients that you have. Okay. If anybody needs me to explain that, let me know. So that means you're going to need about 4 full-time employees and then a part-time one too. So 4.16. Okay, let's say you pay all of your employees the equivalent of a $5,000 monthly salary. So we'll multiply that times 5,000. So that's going to be how much you are paying them per month in payroll costs. And you're making $83,000 per month, paying $20,000, right? So if we multiply this out by the 12 months, total payroll expense is going to be around $250,000 for employees. But remember, you are making $1 million in revenue. Subtract out the $250,000 of payroll, and your profit in your business is going to be $750,000 before paying any marketing expenses or maybe upgrading your computer. The expenses and the overhead in a bookkeeping business is almost nothing. It's minimal, negligible, unless you want to dump a bunch of money in marketing. So you're going to be able to profit that and have a team of a little over 4 people 4 people and a part-time person, which is cool. Now it's going to take you guys probably 3, 4, 5 years to get there, just depending on your goals and what your family situation is right now. But it's very doable that you can do this. And guess what? All it takes is taking one step of action. And that's just getting started. That's it. Every single person that's ever made $1 million in their life, they started at 0, So all you guys got to do is take one step, which is really cool. Okay. So type a thumbs up in the chat if you want to strive for having a $750,000 profit one year with your bookkeeping business. Is that a goal that you would maybe entertain for yourself at some point? Amber says she does. Connie says, hell yes. I love that. Get excited. Yes, I love it. The excitement, it can be scary to start a business, and there's going to be a lot of work involved and a lot of action that you're going to have to take, but let's get excited because it is exciting. It's really exciting. Hey, Carolyn. Awesome. Okay, so back to the explanation here. So I just showed you guys how it's going to be profitable for you for future employees if you do it the way we say, with proper quoting and efficient workflow. But also, I want you guys to follow these steps because in the future, you might want to sell your business. And these are so profitable to sell. This bookkeeping business is like a retirement plan in and of itself. So even if you don't take some of your profit and put it in a 401k or put it in the stock market or whatever you like to do for retirement savings, even if you don't do that, your bookkeeping business can be your retirement. So I actually have some students right now that they are growing their business to multiple 7 figures. That's their goal. So then they can sell it, and that's going to be their retirement fund. So then they can go travel the world and be retired. So you can literally even grow these businesses up literally just to be able to sell them in the future, which is really cool. I'm hoping that at some point here in the next 5 years that I actually have a department in my company where we actually end up buying our students' businesses for them and either selling them again or creating this big giant conglomerate. So that can be something you can work towards as well. But I'll show you guys, when you want to sell your business, it is a multiple of revenue. And the multiple goes up when your business size increases. So for example, if you have a $200,000 business, the multiple is going to be 1. So you can sell your business potentially for $200,000. And if you grow your business, let's say you're making $1 million a year in revenue, then the multiple sometimes increases. It could be 2. So I actually have a friend that has $1 million annual revenue bookkeeping business, and she got offered $2.2 million to sell her business. I don't know if she actually did. I think she ended up deciding to keep going and seeing how big she could get it before she sold it. But just so you know, this is what you have to look forward to should you keep deciding to kind of move forward and keep growing and keep growing. These businesses, the reason they are so attractive to potential buyers is for a couple key factors. Number 1, most of the money you have coming in is going to be dependable, consistent, reoccurring revenue from these bookkeeping clients that stay with you for years. So the new person buying your business isn't going to have to immediately jump in and start marketing, because that money is still going to be coming in every month. Also, the high profit after hiring a team. Like I said, there is little to no expenses in the bookkeeping business. So there's a lot of profit even when you have a full team. And then also, as you're growing your team and as you're scaling up and building your team, you as the business owner don't necessarily need to be there in order to run the business. So if someone was to come in and buy your business at this point, they could very easily and effectively phase you out, and the business would still continue to run, which is really, really cool. Another cool thing about that is as you continue to grow, you can eventually work less and less and less and less, and your profit is growing and growing and growing. So over time, your hourly rate could really skyrocket like crazy. Let me see. I'll do some super quick math here and see if I can figure out what my hourly rate has been. I haven't done that in a while. Let's see. I got to do some math. I might have to calculate that up here later. But yeah, as you get a bigger business and you have a bigger profit, you can still work less because you've got a team, then your hourly rate's going to go up, right? But we are going to help you build the business with all of these things in mind right from the beginning. So at the very beginning, before you have employees, you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting the employee pay and the business owner profit portion, right? So, something to think about. So we're going to help you guys get started with this foundation. So can you guys comment in the chat and let me know how you feel about the bookkeeping business, how it works, the science behind it. Type a yes if you feel like, I agree with this now. It makes sense. It doesn't feel too good to be true. I understand like kind of how it all works and the science behind it. So type a yes if you feel that way. If you still feel like skeptical or whatever, I would love to know your thoughts. So type that in the chat as well. And as you guys are doing that, one thing I want to share with you is backwork and cleanup opportunities when you get new clients. So I haven't even talked about this revenue stream yet. So I'm excited to dive in and show you some examples of this. 9 times out of 10, when you get a new client, they have not done their bookkeeping for months or sometimes even years in the past. And that's why they're looking for bookkeeping services, because they need help. They know they need help and they haven't done it. They've put it off. This is another income opportunity that you have because you're going to get to charge for all the months that they're behind. It's a little harder to predict because it's different for every single client. So I didn't include that on the other chart, but I want to give you guys some examples of what you're working with so you can understand the opportunity here. So Morgan says, better knowing there's a structure and a lot of help to achieve these goals. Awesome. Other Morgan says, not skeptical of the process. I just wonder if I can do it as others have done. Yeah. So why can't you, Morgan? Right? Like, why would you not be able to accomplish this? Like, think about that. You are an awesome person. You've probably accomplished a lot of things in your life. What would be some reasons why you couldn't do this? Everybody can do this. You can learn things. You're able to learn. That's all you need. The only skill that you need to have to be successful with this is the interest and desire of learning new things and the ability to stay organized and the resilience to be able to put yourself in situations that you've never been in before, make yourself do things. Those are the only skills that you really need to have to be successful. Every single thing that it requires to have a successful business like this is going to be taught in the Bookkeeper Academy. So you guys can do this. Okay. Gotta get some water down. Kim, here's an example. Kim joined our academy on October 17th, and she landed her first client about 6 weeks after starting the Bookkeeper Academy, launching her business. This client was a little bit larger. I mentioned her earlier. They were paying her $21.97 per month, but this client was behind in their books for like 10 months or so. It was a bigger client though. And so we helped her quote it, and it was about $9,000 worth of work. And she quoted the client. He said, sure, take it out of my account. And she was able to secure a $9,000 upfront cleanup job in addition to the $21.97 monthly fee that she's getting every single month into the future. So in 6 weeks, by month and before the end of her second month, Kim made over $11,000 in our academy, over $11,000, which is really, really cool. So if you guys think about that, she was right on track. 2 months in, she was making $2,000 per month, like that chart, but she had this huge cleanup job. And this is very, very common. Like I mentioned, Robin just got a $10,000 cleanup job. Christina, who won our social media contest in the group, brand new to bookkeeping, she just got a $10,800 cleanup client. Very, very common. You guys can get these clients. Now, if you got a $9,000 cleanup job in your first 6 weeks, obviously it's going to make it a lot easier for you to be able to quit your job or make the monthly payment in the academy or all those kinds of things. So that is that example. Let's see. I got a message that says, I'm worried that despite my bachelor's degree in accounting, that because I'm 23 and will turn 24 in February and lack of experience, and that I won't seem as qualified because of the extremely negative view of my generation. I graduated early and did corporate 6 months, and wow, Grace, this is impressive. And did corporate 6 months and then nonprofit for a year and 3 months, and had to quit due to harassment that now I'm dealing with legally and I'm unemployed. Oh, that stinks. Okay. Okay. So first of all, again, this is where mindset comes in majorly, because you are feeling convinced that people are not going to want to hire you because you're young, because you lack experience, or because you think people think of what millennials as a certain type of person, right? These are stories that you have told yourself or believe or convinced yourself of, right? So this is where we really work on mindset in the academy, because none of those things are actually true. Like if somebody else came into the academy but didn't believe those things, oh, actually, I have an amazing example for you. Okay, we have this girl named Kaylee. Kaylee joined my program when she was 23. And I remember talking to her on the discovery call. This was back in September of 2019, when I very first started doing discovery calls and enrolling people into the program. And she was leaving. She didn't even have an accounting degree, and she didn't even have a pharmacy she had a pharmacy technician job. So she didn't even have accounting background or any kind of accounting experience at all. She started her business. She's grown over the years. She grew her family. She got married. And all that time has grown her business as well. And she retired her husband, and she has made enough money that she is on track to make $500,000 in 2024 calendar year. I have gone to Jamaica with Kaylee twice now, doing a tropical mastermind, because she wants to learn how to continue to scale. Kaylee is 26, almost 27, and has accomplished all of that. She's in the first 4 years of her business has made over $500,000, but now is on track to make that within one calendar year. And we're working with her to help her build her team. And so you can do this, and it's all about believing in yourself that you can do it. So, Grace, that is exciting, and you should be proud of what you have already accomplished. But let's turn those skills and all of that experience that you already have and actually have you benefit from it. Like, when you go to college and you put all that time in, like I put so much time into getting my CPA license and getting experience, and I got the crappiest raise ever. And I thought, what was all this for? What was all this for? It was for nothing. It was for somebody else to get rich. And so that's why I started my business. And now every single step I take is to help me and my situation, my family situation, and helping everybody on my team live a better life as well, which is really rewarding. It's very rewarding, but you got to first believe that you can do it. So I want you to know that you can do this, and that we will help you work through all of those things. And even if you're 23, 24, it doesn't matter. You can definitely do this. We currently have a 22-year-old in our program right now as well. Let's see. What about benefits or health insurance? I have, okay. So with benefits and health insurance, when you're a business owner, you do have to do those things on your own. Now, there's a couple of options that you have. One is that you can go through the marketplace. And obviously, even if you have pre-existing conditions, you can get a policy there. The other thing is doing those healthcare sharing co-ops. I use a company called Liberty Health Share. We've used it for 8 years now. They're awesome. It was for us. It's been fantastic. I had twins when I was going through this, and I paid less in copays by having my twins than I paid when I had my third daughter with regular insurance from the job I was working at. So there's lots of options for those things. And you're going to make more money in your business than any benefit from any employer is ever going to give you. I will just tell you that. So you guys can also listen to Kaylee's story on my podcast on YouTube if you want to see like all the information about her. She also just posted on Facebook that she just bought her dream car. She has a bright yellow Corvette, and she just was able to get that too. Yes, Tropical Mastermind. Love doing the Tropical Masterminds. If anybody wants to do those with me, it's basically 4 days in Jamaica at an all-inclusive resort with unlimited food and drinks. And you can go and bring somebody with you, and it's with me and my husband, and we literally talk business. How do we scale your business? How do we do everything? What's your goals? I mean, it's just like a deep dive into next steps. So that's always open. I will go to Jamaica every single month if you guys want to do it. So anybody that ever wants to join the Tropical Mastermind is always welcome to do so. So those are 15,000 if you guys want to do those. Obviously we pay for the actual resort and all of that stuff out of that and everything like that. So but feel free to let me know or let Sean know when he texts you if you're interested in that, and we can give you a call. So okay, I want to give you a next example. Alicia here joined our academy on November 18th. She spent 3 weeks getting her business set up and ready to go, and then launched her marketing plan, got her first client on December 15th within 4 days of marketing. 4 days after she started her marketing, she got her first client. And then this one was like a medium-sized client. So she charged $1,500 for ongoing monthly. And Alicia made $6,000 in cleanup work. So by the end of her first month in the academy, she made $7,500, which is really cool. You know, if you guys have to make that monthly payment of $640 for the academy, obviously, if you get your first client in the first month, you know, boom, you're well off. You won't even have to worry about that monthly payment, right? Which is really cool. Now, Kim and Alicia, like I mentioned, it's very, very common to get cleanup jobs like that. We see anywhere from like 1,500 all the way up to 10,000. They're really common. We see them a lot. Anything above that is not as common, but I love to share this example because it's super cool. This is Jen Beckwith. She joined our program on August 12th. And right at her 4-month mark on December 12th of this is 2022. So she's been in our program for about a little over a year now. But she got her 5th client. This one was bigger, $21.97 a month. But she actually was able to get a $32,000 cleanup job from her 5th client, which is incredible. So obviously in her 4th month of being in the program, she made over $34,000. And I also interviewed Jen on my podcast. So you can hear from her exactly how that went, you know, all the details of this cleanup job and this client that she got, which is really, really, really cool. And the other cool thing that I wanted to share with you guys is when Jennifer first started our program, the first couple of months, she worked on her mindset. She didn't even start right away because she had some limiting beliefs and she had lack of confidence and she wasn't sure how to make this work for her because of those things that were bothering her. So we worked on that. That was what we worked on first. And then once she kind of got that out of the way and she started taking action, she exploded. Jen's business has gone insane. I think she retired her husband. I can't remember if he has officially quit yet, but that was the plan. She's hired 2 of her teenage sons to help in her business, and she is continuing to grow. She just posted, if I did a win live yesterday, where she posted that she was getting ready to hire her next contractor. She has over 25 clients now, and she started on August 12th of 2022, which is really, really awesome. So here's a little recap of everybody. Again, when these ladies got these potential clients, we helped them understand how to handle all the steps leading up to getting paid and all the steps that come after. So here's a list of things that like our team helps you achieve. We help them understand how to conduct the new client discovery call and ask all the right questions. In fact, we give you a script so you know exactly what to say. And then we are able to help them put together a proper quote and a proposal, and then be able to present that to the client so they're able to explain the value so that these clients would say yes. And then now that they have the clients, we show them how to, how to onboard the client, how to break the client down into a step-by-step cleanup job, and then how to understand how to do the work, all of the work, the cleanup job work and the monthly work. And we're going to work with you on all of these steps so that you fully understand how to do all of them. And that way you can make a minimum of $100 per hour doing the work. But the most important thing that we taught them, above and beyond all of this stuff, the most important thing we taught them is actually how to find clients. And obviously, as you guys may know, that is called marketing. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about marketing. Our students usually spend about an hour a day on their marketing, sometimes more in the beginning, and then sometimes they phase it out as they take on their first few clients and they're learning bookkeeping. Just depends on how much time they have available and that they are interested in putting into growing their business. But there are three main methods we teach our students to get clients. All three methods have been proven to take our students from $0 to $100,000 in their first year in business. And so that means you can do all of them, or you can just pick one and you'll still be able to reach your goals. So you can pick whichever method works best for you. You don't have to do them all. If you do them all, you're just going to reach your goals faster. So let's dive into the marketing options. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. So the first method that we teach is organic social media marketing. So we help you use the platforms that you're already familiar with to be able to find and connect with business owners. So, for example, we'll show you how to do that on Facebook, Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. And then we show you how to then post content on your pages that are actually going to attract business owners to reach out to you. So you don't have to, cold message or anything like that. We're going to show you how to post content that actually attracts them to reach out to you. That way they can then schedule a discovery call with you and talk about it. Now, if you do want to send private messages to people, you can. And it's really great because since our service is so valuable, business owners usually like it when we reach out. And I had this student named Elena who joined a month or so ago. She sent out 11 messages on Instagram. 3 people responded and booked calls with her. And that took her like 5 minutes, which was really cool. Now, for the social media marketing, typically costs nothing. Most of our examples of people that got those large cleanup jobs, they got their cleanup jobs from clients on social media. So that way they didn't actually cost anything to get those clients, which is really awesome. So that's the first one. Second one is networking groups. So this is a second option we have for students, and we show you how to find virtual or in-person networking groups where business owners hang out. And then we help you create a strategy when you attend these groups so you know exactly how to make the most use of your time and how to get clients from these groups. And then we show you how to not only get referrals from the group, but also create referral partnerships. So that way other members of the group will also be doing marketing for you, and they will be referring their clients, their friends, and their family to you for bookkeeping as well. So even if you are an introvert, these groups can still be really awesome because usually they are small. So don't discount this even if you are an introvert. Typically, there is a marketing investment for this. Some groups are free, but the best ones do have a membership fee of anywhere from $500 to $800 for the year. I paid $500 for my referral group that I was in, and I actually attributed about $60,000 of my bookkeeping income in the first year from that group, which is really awesome. It also turned into like a second little family for me, which was really great. And I actually really looked forward to going each week. Also, we teach you how to do email marketing. So we help our students first gather large lists of business owners and large lists of tax offices. So that way we can set up and help you deploy email campaigns to both of those lists. Now, obviously, for the business owners, you're going to want to get them as new clients. And yes, Rose, we will send you the replay. Absolutely. Sean will text you here soon. And then we will also help you get partnerships set up with tax offices. So in case you don't know, bookkeeping has to be done before business owners can file their tax return, right? So if you partner with tax offices, they get really busy, really overloaded during tax season. They may either not have time to handle all the bookkeeping work, or maybe they don't even like doing bookkeeping at all. So if you have a couple of partnerships set up correctly with these tax offices, likely they will be able to refer clients to you consistently all the time, which is great. So just so you know, Grace, that is one of the ways that Kaylee, our 23-year-old student, was able to get so many clients as well. She has some really great tax office partnerships that we helped her set up. So now this marketing option can be a $0 investment if you want to do it all manually, researching email addresses and manually sending out emails. However, if you do want to invest into some marketing software, 50 to $100 a month, then that will also speed up the process and help you get clients faster, but that's optional as well. So I'm curious, which marketing method will you choose? So type in the chat a 1 for social media, a 2 for networking groups, a 3 for email marketing, or a 4 if you're going to just dive in and do all of it. So what do you guys think? What's your preferred? All right, I love that. Grace is going to do 2. Love it. Tanjala is going to do 2 and 3. Awesome. I love it. Love it. 4. Also, I want to point out too, why you guys are doing this. Teaching you guys this marketing is like one of my biggest passions, because whenever you need money, all you have to do is turn your marketing on. So I know somebody mentioned in the chat that they have some medical issues. And what's great about being able to control your income is that anytime a medical expense arises, you can literally go get a new client. Or if you want to do some preventative stuff, a lot of those preventative things that you can do to make yourself like really, really healthy is expensive, right? So we have this set up in our home. I will embarrassingly say I don't use it hardly ever, which is terrible, and I want to get back to using it. But we have this thing set up in our home. It's called the Superhuman Protocol, and it's a series of different things that you can utilize to like basically repair your cells, oxygenate your blood, and all that kind of stuff. And it was expensive. It was like $10,000 for it, you know? But when you have a business and you can control the money coming in, you can afford to purchase things like that. So if you have health issues, starting a business is going to be the best thing you could ever do for that, because then you have the financial means to do whatever is necessary to keep yourself healthy, right? I know people that have done, like stem cell stuff for cancer and things like that. And their insurance didn't cover those things, right? And it may cost like $25,000. But if you're a business owner, you can do marketing and you can actually like afford to do those things. I had a client named Robin who was based out of Alaska. She homeschooled her 5 kids, and they had dental checkups one time, and one of her daughters needed $1,800 worth of dental work done. And she was like, I don't have that money. What am I going to do? So she went home and she started marketing on Facebook, and she ended up getting somebody to book a discovery call with her. He got on the call and she quoted his back work, and it ended up being $1,800. He paid it that next week, and then she had the money to pay the dentist. It was fantastic. Morgan says, I'm a retired disabled veteran, and sometimes I need MH break. So I'm glad to hear this. Yes, absolutely. There's a lot of things that people have been able to do in the past, with helping their mental health and things like that. And having funds to be able to help yourself with these things is very important, right? And having a business and learning how to bring in new clients and through marketing, it's the number one way you can take control of your life. So would you guys like to see how we support our students to help them achieve these results? Ready to dive into that part. So put a thumbs up or a yes in the chat if you want to see exactly what you would get as far as support goes, should you decide to join the Bookkeeper Academy. All right. Okay, so we run some of our support out of our private members only Facebook group. You probably have access to our Facebook group that's pictured here, the Have Your Cake and Eat It Too group. But we have a small private group. We currently have about 200 students in their first year of growing their bookkeeping business. It's really awesome to have a sense of community with others who are on the same journey in their business, but also in their life. And we also have over 30 students that are in their second, third, fourth, going on fifth years in the program. Speaking of which, Kaylee is still in our academy as well because she loves the support. And you'll get to collaborate with them, which is really awesome. Learn from them, connect with them. A lot of times they do guest coaching as well, which is really awesome. And then we have over 8 to 10 coaches, mentors, and team members who are all either experts in growing a business, doing bookkeeping, or experts in marketing, sales, or mindset. And you'll have access to all of them as well. So now we don't treat the Facebook group like a Facebook group. We treat it like a ticketing system. So whenever you have a question, and we hope that you have a lot, we want you to post your question in the Facebook group, basically like submitting a ticket. And you can ask a question on any topic. Nothing is off the table and everything is related to your business and impacts your business. So that could be sales, marketing, quoting, QuickBooks Online questions, technical bookkeeping or tax questions, workflow, or it could be a myriad of mindset questions. All of it makes a difference in your success. So you can ask questions on any of those things. Now, when you ask a question in our group, we answer them live 6 days a week. Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Central Time. Friday and Saturday is 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time, and we are closed on Sundays. But every question that's asked on Sundays or outside of our current support hours, it does get answered. It just gets answered at the beginning of our next shift. So even if you ask a question on Sunday, we're still going to answer it. It just won't be till Monday morning. And we currently have, on average, a 45-minute, actually this week it was 36 average minute response time on every question that is posted. So what this means is that if you have a question or something that's keeping you stuck, or you just need clarity on some process, you post a question there, you're going to get an answer usually within about 30 to 40 minutes, which is really, really awesome. So that helps you streamline this whole process, get to success faster, and minimize and reduce overwhelm, which is really, really cool. So here's a quick screenshot of how we track. We track every question that's asked, every ticket that's submitted. This one is for 1 month. It says like 578 questions were asked, and we had an average of 42-minute response time. And then sometimes we have to go back and forth with you to get real clarity, make sure you fully understand our explanation. So for that, we have a 65-minute resolution time to get to the bottom of and fully answer every question, which is cool. But we track this, and my team always strives to have their response time go lower and lower and lower every single month, which is really cool. But you'll also get access to our team through group Zoom calls, which is really great. These Zoom calls are currently Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. Central Time, Wednesday at 7 p.m., Friday at 4 p.m. The Monday and Friday calls are topic specific. It's mostly about mindset, but you can hop on there for anything because our mindset coach is also growing her bookkeeping business, as I mentioned. So Ivy, the other day, had her very first potential client, and she needed to know how to quote them, but it was Friday. So she got on the Friday mindset call, and Robin, our mindset coach, walked her through what to quote and how to present it. And she ended up getting off that call, and the client said yes, which was really, really exciting. So, but the rest of the calls are open Q&A. We call them office hours. So where you can get on and you can ask any question that you can think of or that you need help with in your bookkeeping business. We walk you through doing bookkeeping. We walk you through quoting. We walk you through having conversations with your clients, the scripts, all that kind of stuff, actually using QuickBooks, how that works, tax questions, everything. Do you have anyone that's currently working full-time while doing the Bookkeeping Academy? Is it possible? Yes, I would say 80 to 90% of our clients start the Academy with a full-time job. Because not everybody wants to quit their job and then dive right into this. Although that's how I prefer it, because if you're all in, you're going to have success faster. But if you just can't take that risk and you just can't do that, yes, this is fully set up to help those that have full-time jobs already. Like I said, most of our students do. And then that's where our client success director really comes in handy if you do have a full-time job. So this person is going to support you one-on-one over email and text. In addition to our head of education, our mentors and coaches, you're going to have access to this person as well. So she is going to give you a step-by-step, like, homework basically from day 1 through day 365. She's going to get to the bottom of what your goals are, because everyone that comes into the academy has different goals. And then she's going to help you do the things that holds you accountable to your own goals. What is the best next thing that you need to do? You're busy, you have a full-time job, you have kids, you have a family, you have to take care of your elderly parents, whatever it is, you still need to make your business work, right? So she's going to help you prioritize what is the best thing you need to be working on this week. What is the next step? So that's what she's there to help you with. She'll direct you to the quickest and best support option should you have a specific question on something. Again, super supportive and motivational. If you didn't hear me earlier, our newest team member, Christy, is going to be the one that you're primarily talking to. And she's a former student who has had massive success with the program and wanted to come back and work full time to help you guys out, which is really awesome. You're also going to get access to a lot of coursework, probably more than you would ever need in your bookkeeping business. So over the years, you'll be able to go through some of this as the need arises and be able to have answers on tax questions, on payroll, on invoicing, on all sorts of things. So we will be able to say, hey, you don't need to do all of this right now, but hey, your question on invoicing, this is the training you want to go to, which is really cool. Michelle says, I live in Canada. Do I look for potential clients only in Canada, or can I also look for in the US? That is a great question. I have students in the US that get Canadian clients and US clients, and I have students in Canada that also get Canadian and US clients. So you can absolutely have both. You can focus on one or the other, whichever you want to do. We are set up to help you both ways. The only difference is you're going to have 2 different QuickBooks Online accountant versions, one for US and one for Canada. So you'll have 2 logins. That's it. Tanjala says, how many students have graduated from the academy? Oh man. Well, our program has kind of changed and shifted a little bit over the years. So like back in 2019 and 2020, it was a different model. We had like, gosh, I want to say like people would come and go. It was more like a subscription based. That was really hectic, but we probably had, 400 or 500 people come and go out of that. And then ever since we switched over to this 12-month plan, we've had, I don't know, close to 1,000 people go through it. I mean, we've had several thousand people complete our program. So which is really cool. But I don't know the exact number. That's a great question. I would like to find that out. So in case you guys are wondering what the journey looks like, let's say you enroll in the academy today. What does that journey look like? For the first couple of weeks, you're going to spend time setting up your back office so that like physically you're ready for clients. You can accept their payments and stuff. And you're going to learn the basics of bookkeeping and the basics of business ownership through a series of video trainings. And then you're going to learn, what does it look like to provide amazing service to your clients? What does the day-to-day look like? What does bookkeeping look like? And I even walk you through how to do a whole year's worth of bookkeeping. So you have an idea of what that whole process looks like. Then you can communicate intelligently with a potential client. You may not know everything, but at least you can talk about bookkeeping to a business owner if you've never done that before. And we're going to give you a script so you'll really understand how to conduct a potential client discovery call. You'll know exactly how to do that. Then after you have a couple of weeks of getting through all of that, getting set up and everything, this is where you're going to dive in immediately on developing and launching your marketing plan. Which out of those 3 things are you going to focus on? And we're going to have you get started with that. Get feedback, support, help from our team on your marketing plan. What's working, what's not working, what needs to be tweaked. So that way you can enroll your first few clients. And we typically see that happening in the first the first month or so, you're going to get your first few clients. Just depends. It's different for every person, just depending on how quickly they start marketing, right? So like Crystal, she started marketing day one. She probably started marketing before she even got in the academy, but she got her first client on day 2 of the academy, right? But on average, we usually see our students who are starting from scratch when they enter the academy, they're enrolling their first few clients within that second month. And then from here, this is where we dive in and we really help you understand, how do you do the cleanup jobs? How do you do the onboarding? How do you actually do the day-to-day work? We help you break it down into step by step so you can learn the skill of bookkeeping and be able to do a really good job for your clients. Then the rest of the year, month 3 through 12, you're just going to rinse and repeat. Continue onboarding, working with new clients, becoming an expert bookkeeper, work with clients from all different industries. And then we really help you set that foundation so that you have that profitable business that gives you financial, location, and the time freedom that you are looking for. So let me know if you guys have any questions on that. If you are ready to go, the next steps would be apply for our program by filling out our Future Bookkeeper Academy student form that I'm getting ready to drop in the chat, and then comment cake once you fill that out. So let me paste this in here really quick for you guys. So if you have the $640 down payment available and you are ready to get started, you want to click the first link. The first link is going to take you to our US-based funding. You will be approved and they will be expecting your $640 down payment to get started. So if you want to get started ASAP, let's roll. Let's do it. You guys click that. If you're in Canada and you want to use funding, you'll click the second link. They do not offer guaranteed approvals for Canada, but if you want to see if you're approved for anything, you can click that link in Canada. And the third link is maybe you're planning to apply in the future, but you need to secure your down payment or something like that. Please fill out that third form so that way we can stay in touch with you and help answer any of your questions that you have as well. So if any of you have applied for funding already or have had a chance to fill out that form, go ahead and type cake in the chat box so I know. And then I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have as well. Is this the only local, or can you work with clients completely online? It's all online. You can get clients in your local area, but you can also work with students or with clients anywhere. So this is a virtual business that we're going to help you build. So keep the questions coming. Real quick, Grace is still on here. This is Kaylee. I want you guys to hear her story really quick. She had this testimonial video she created. So I'll let you guys listen to this. And as you're listening, or if you have any additional questions, please comment in the chat too, and I will answer them all. And let me know if you end up not hearing this.
Hello, I'm Kaylee Douglas. I'm 26 years old and I have a successful bookkeeping firm making $300,000 per year. But I had no prior experience in bookkeeping or accounting at all when I decided to do this. And I'd love to share my journey with you so you can know why I decided to do this. Now, I originally went to school in pharmacy and I worked in the pharmacy industry for 6 years, long hours, overworked, underpaid, and I was ready to start a family. I had my daughter, and when she was 6 months old, I went through a divorce. So I was now on the hunt for a position where I could work from home and be with my daughter and support myself and her. And I tried, it seemed like I tried everything. I tried multi-level marketing. I was applying for remote jobs on Indeed. I ended up nannying 6 children from my home and still had to work in the pharmacy a couple days a week. So I was working, it seemed like a lot, just so I could be home with my daughter. And it just didn't seem to work out like I was hoping. But I just kept trucking along and looking for the next best opportunity. I got remarried, and shortly after, I came across a Facebook ad for the Stay-at-Home Bookkeeper Academy. And it was not something I was expecting, came out of the blue, but I decided that this was an opportunity I really needed to try. So I purchased the ebook and I read that. I then ended up purchasing the full course and joining the Piece of Cake support group. And within the first 20 to 30 days, I got my first client, and I just continued the process. I signed on more clients and I kept learning as I went, and I had amazing support and knowledge from the course to really have a successful business from the beginning. Now, I didn't do this in the beginning to start a large company by any means, or even, a medium-sized business. So this was just going to be like a side gig, a way for me to make some money and still support my family, and contribute, and to give myself purpose, and to still be at home with my daughter. But it obviously turned into something way more than that. I was able to completely, in the first year, double my full-time income from when I worked in pharmacy. And we were able to start building our dream home. I then was able to retire my husband from his full-time job and replaced his income as well. And then we decided to grow our family. So a year ago, we were able to move into our home that we built and have my little boy, who's now 1 year old. And because my husband's been able to be home with me, he's been watching the kids. He's been a stay-at-home dad, really. And he decided on his free time at home that he would, he always wanted to get a college degree. So he's been able to accomplish that, and will have his bachelor's degree within the next semester or two, depending on what he decides. But he's getting a degree in computer science. And we've even been talking recently about how he may not even use his degree. He wants to complete it, but he may not, apply for an entry-level position making $60,000 a year in computer science, because he really just can make so much more money helping me and grow the bookkeeping business. So we've been able to do so many things, and the opportunities have been endless. And because we've both been home, our 1 year old just started walking a couple days ago, and we were both able to witness his first steps and really be there for our children as they've been growing up little. And my daughter's now, getting big and starting preschool and stuff. So it's just so exciting. But I've also decided, and this was like a year ago now. So a year ago, I also joined the Inner Circle, which is another program that Tiffany Higgins offers. And I wanted to grow my business bigger than what I had at the time. When I signed up for the Inner Circle, I was probably making just over 100,000 per year. And now I'm making 300,000 per year with only being in that group for 1 year. And I'm so excited because we have a retreat where all of us in the Inner Circle will be able to go to Miami, Florida, and go to the Keys and learn about more ways we can grow our businesses and really connect and make relationships. But I also have been able to invest money into the Tropical Mastermind, which is a new program Tiffany Higgins just started offering. And I was so excited about it. But we get to go to Jamaica for almost a week and spend time, me and my husband, with her and her husband, and learn the ins and outs of growing a successful bookkeeping firm to 7 figures. And we are on track to make $1 million net very soon. And it's just very, very exciting. I just hired my first full-time employee, and she is phenomenal, and I'm able to offer her an amazing salary, with, growth opportunities for her as I grow my business and grow, even a bigger team. So I just am so, so grateful for this opportunity, that Tiffany Higgins has given to me, and the course work that she has and offers, and all the programs that she has. And she's constantly, giving more and more and more, such valuable information, to her students all the time. And she invests so much time and money into our success so that she can provide us with the top-notch, best resources out there, to help us, market our business, and to, you know, have a successful team, and to be a business owner and an entrepreneur. So it's just really priceless, the opportunities and the things I've been able to accomplish just because, of jumping in and starting this, with no experience and not knowing what I was doing from the beginning. But I hope to see you in the Piece of Cake support group. I hope to see you in the inner circle. I love, the community that Tiffany Higgins has created, and, I just thank her a million times over. So anyway, I hope that you were able to connect with my journey, and that it is inspiring for you, to know that, trust me, I know this is said by people, all the time, but if I can do this with the place that I was in and what my life was like, anybody can do this. And, I hope that you jump in and take that leap of faith. So, all right. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you in the group.
All right. And in just in case you're curious, here's a few pictures of us from our first tropical mastermind together. So we just, hung out at the beach, hung out in the ocean. And as you can see, like down here, she's got our list of questions, and we're just hanging out talking like, how can we grow your business? How can we scale it? So it's really fun. It's super fun. And being a business owner can be hard sometimes, but it is so rewarding. It's so great. So I hope you guys all at least fill out the funding form, the third one, letting us know what you think about everything, and that way we can reach out to you. But Barb says, so if I get my first client in a week and I don't have my LLC, how does that work? Do I need an LLC and company checking account to receive money? So, I mean, having all of that set up is great, right? Being organized, but you don't have to. Like the first time I got a client, I had them pay me through PayPal. I didn't know how to use, Intuit payments and the way we teach you guys how to set all that up. I didn't even know how to use it. So any way that you can get money, if you have to have them mail you a check or send you a Zelle or use the Cash App, it doesn't really matter. Have them give you money. And then, as you're working with that client, you can finish your setup on your LLC and all that bank account stuff later. It doesn't have to happen in a certain order. But, when you first get in, we'll show you how to set all that stuff up within the first week or so of starting your business. So, yep. So that'll be good. But all right, I really appreciate you guys hanging out in here. I can't wait for Sean's going to reach out to all of you, see what questions you have, and we'll go from there. And I hope to see you guys all in the academy here soon so we can help you reach these goals. And just, if you don't get a message from Sean, check your email. He's also going to email you too. So that way we can stay connected and answer any questions that you guys have. So thank you so much for tuning in here with me. And I look forward to seeing you guys all in the academy. All right. Have a great day. Have a great afternoon.